But you do have a mayor of San Juan that frankly doesn't know what she's doing. And the governor, they got to spend the money wisely.
Well, that was kind of restrained, I guess, coming after the Puerto Rican governor, Ricardo Rossello, told our Jim Acosta this today.
If the bully gets close, I'll punch the bully in the mouth.
Out front now, Luis Gutierrez, former Democratic congressman from Illinois, and Steve Rogers, member of the Trump 2020 Advisory Election Board. Thanks to both. Congressman, let me start with you. The president, you heard him there, says he has done more for the people of Puerto Rico than, quote, any living human being. Your response?
Well, the truth is, at the moment, the Inspector General of HUD is conducting an investigation because alleged attempts of this administration to stop the money that's been appropriated to the people of Puerto Rico. Let's remember, this is the same president of the United States that when he visited the island, threw paper towels at people. And then he said they were lazy. He said the reason things aren't going well on the island is they expect the government to do it all for themselves. Basically blaming the people for the worst catastrophe. And as you remember, he said, oh, give me an A. I've done such an excellent job. It's only been 15 deaths. But now we learned from two renowned universities, one that estimated over 3,000, the other over 4,000 deaths, making this more deaths in Puerto Rico than Katrina. Wow, what a devastating effect. And yet the President of the United States yesterday was meeting with senators, the Senate leadership, saying, don't give Puerto Rico any more money.
So, Steve, let me ask you about this, because this issue of appropriations, right? The Congress has appropriated $20 billion, just shy of that, in disaster relief for Puerto Rico. Only $1.5 billion has been approved for spending. That is a huge gap. Can the president really say he has done more for Puerto Rico than any other living human being?
Well, not only can we say the president says it himself, but the governor, who you just rolled a video on the air, praised the president of the United States when all this was happening for his effective listening to the petitions of the people. And along with the governor was a congresswoman named Jennifer Gonzalez-Colon, who took a lot of time in praising the president's response and the amount of money, time, and effort that he gave Puerto Rico. So if you want to talk about some facts, Owen, those are facts. And this is ongoing. Look, this is a fluid situation. Billions of dollars have gone to Puerto Rico. But the president, and I think this is where people are taking a little bit out of context.
Only $1.5 billion's been approved for spending, just to be clear.
Yeah, and 14,000 they spent? I think it was 14,900 that they've only spent. The point is this, is that Puerto Rico is $120 billion in debt. All right, and the President of the United States wants to make sure that when money is sent to Puerto Rico, that they will spend it appropriately. And by the way, FEMA has declared Puerto Rico as a high risk, a very big high risk when it comes to managing government grants. So those are facts. So he's a businessman, remember, not a politician. And he's doing this in a very business fashion way.
All right, Congressman, let me give you a chance to respond here to what the Puerto Rican governor has done. Look, he has, I think to Steve's point, originally, right, was playing nice with the president for quite some time. But that has obviously now dramatically changed. And the governor of Puerto Rico, Ricardo Rossello, today came out and said this. Let me play it again.
If the bully gets close, I'll punch the bully in the mouth.
Congressman, is that appropriate?
The worst recent catastrophe we've seen. No, I don't think it is appropriate. I think we need to keep our moral compass. We don't use the language of Donald Trump and the language he uses at his rallies where he says, punch somebody. No, violence is not the answer to the inhumane treatment of this government to the people of Puerto Rico. You know where you punch at the ballot box. And I'm going to say something. In Florida, there are over 1 million Puerto Rico, hundreds of thousands of them displaced because of this catastrophe of this hurricane, and probably more coming. But God, this inhumanity to people. It's almost as though the President of the United States, if he isn't picking on the transgender community or the Muslims or saying, I'm going to pack the Supreme Court to take away reproductive rights from women, he has to pick on someone. And today, his inhumanity is being shown to the people of Puerto Rico. A 40% cut in nutritional assistance. That means there are people in hospice centers dying of AIDS that are getting cut nutritional value and money to their centers. Senior citizens that are bedbound. Children, come on. This is not the America that I grew up in.
Steve?
Erin, the congressman just opened up a door, and I'm going to walk right through it. Congressman, you said that the president is picking an issue. Well, what happened between the time the governor of Puerto Rico praised the president and the time he met the Democrats? I know what happened. You know what happened? Poof! Russia collusion went away, and the Democrats needed something to tag the president on. This is all about your political agenda and your party's political agenda. The president of the United States has done a darn good job, and people appreciate it. We have a big Hispanic community here in New Jersey, and I haven't heard many criticisms of the president. In fact, the unemployment rate in the Hispanic community is the greatest ever, and people are praising him for the job he's done. So let's not go down that road that he picked the issue. You picked one issue, the Russian collusion issue, and you got obliterated, and now you're going to try to tag him with something that's not true.
You will get
Those
the
are
last
the
word
facts.
because the congressman had the first, and I appreciate both of your time. Thank you. And next,